What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and ever since the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max, so many people have asked them to comment on the numbers for HBO Max. What are the numbers? Because we heard pretty quickly about Wonder Woman, we also heard pretty quickly about Godzilla vs. Kong, but for some reason they were very silent when it came to the Snyder Cut, other than a few days after one of the CEOs over there at Warner Media, Warner Brothers, decided to say, yeah, we're not going to do anymore, this is it, we're done with it, but a lot of people are interested in them continuing the Snyderverse and restoring the Snyderverse. Now we fast forward to today, and we have an article out there from Variety that's very interesting that provides some data that a lot of people are puzzled by, especially when we have different graphs and different charts that are seemingly saying two different things. Let's take a look at this. This is from Variety. Godzilla vs. Kong boosts HBO Max to one of strongest weeks since launch, data suggests. And it comes with this chart, which has a lot of people talking today. Weekly percent share of time spent with streaming services among US TV-ision panel members. So this is for HBO Max. So essentially what this graph is, supposedly, is the percent share of streaming between all different streaming platforms. We're talking HBO Max, Netflix, Amazon, everything. Every possible thing. Paramount Plus, you can put that in there too. Peacock, whatever. This is the percent of the market share that it had during these different weeks. Now you can see here they put the Wonder Woman 1984 debut right around Christmas, and it is massive, right? Almost looking to be like a 9, almost 10% market share. Now, obviously, the first thing a lot of people pointed to is there's no mention of Zack Snyder's Justice League in here, even though we know that according to all the reports, Godzilla vs. Kong was a massive hit for HBO Max, followed by Wonder Woman 84, followed closely by the Snyder Cut. Of course, we're just talking about US numbers. We'll talk about international, how Snyder Cut dominated in a little bit. So it was very interesting that we didn't see these things, especially when you take a look at this graph and you realize that really right around here is where the Snyder Cut debuted, and someone actually did the work for us in, digital pen here. But you can see this would be the 15th, this would be the 19th, in terms of percent share. This would be the 23rd. This would be when Zack Snyder's Justice League is still going strong, because Godzilla vs. Kong didn't actually debut on HBO Max until the 31st, which would be around here somewhere. And when you look at the other data that they provided, it might explain that as well. Look at this. This is shared by Lightcast. Godzilla vs. Kong accounted for 8.1% of US streams of the top 100 most watched movies among 2 million real good users from April 2nd to the 4th, according to data provided. When you look at this, you can see that Godzilla vs. Kong is up there at 8.1%. Doesn't really equate to whatever graph that they were showing here if you're really talking about Godzilla vs. Kong, because that would be way up in this area. And also, you see it's followed by the little thing, 7.4%, Zack Snyder's Justice League at 6.3%, all the way down to Wonder Woman at 4.8%. Keep in mind, when you look at this, that Zack Snyder's Justice League, the dates that they're using, March 19th through March 21st. I showed you a graph just the other day that said something a little bit different, that said it was actually accounted for 7.6% of total streams. That's because that uses March 18th when it actually released. The day it actually released, and people stayed up all night waiting for it to release and then watched it that day. So very strange numbers that are coming out from this, especially when these numbers don't necessarily match up with the overall HBO Max numbers. It's important to note that this is all about market share. So if something comes out with big competition, say, I don't know, Falcon versus Winter Soldier, it would make sense that even if it had a high number, it wouldn't necessarily have the same market share. But it is very strange indeed. When we look at Godzilla vs. Kong, 3.6 million US households and 225,000 UK households. You look at what Zack Snyder's Justice League reportedly did, 2.2 million US households and almost a million UK households. So about 2/3 of the number in the US, but 4 times the number watch Zack Snyder's Justice League in the UK. And that kind of follows through with what we've seen internationally, where we had Zack Snyder's Justice League becoming the most popular title in Crave history in Canada. Same thing in Australia. Set records for binge as the black and white version premieres today. It became the biggest premiere in streaming platforms history over in Australia. Same thing in Russia, same thing in Brazil. I've talked about it before. So these numbers that are getting thrown around, these graphs that are getting thrown around, they have incomplete data in them, that is to be sure. And it definitely seems as if it's being put out there to try to mislead you about the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League. We have heard from all the reports from some, but from all these data collection services that aren't official HBO Max services, that it's Godzilla vs. Kong, Wonder Woman, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League as far as the top 1, 2, and 3. Then we start hearing all these other things about the little things. We start hearing about Judas and the Black Messiah. All of these things put together seem very strange, but one date that everyone is looking to is April 22nd. AT&T to release first quarter 2021 results on April 22nd. That should include the numbers for HBO Max. We saw the massive subscriber bump, 64% boost in subscribers just from Zack Snyder's Justice League on 1 week. So you would imagine that we're going to hear those things at this quarterly investor call. A lot of people want to. We've heard rumors that there are conversations going on about potentially restoring the Snyderverse. But, at this point, if we don't hear anything after that day, a lot of people feel like we might just not hear anything. We know there's Nielsen numbers that should be coming out at some point. Will HBO Max ever officially put out their numbers? Probably not. We know that other places like Netflix and Disney Plus really like to hold the legit numbers close to the vest and speak in generalities when it comes to things like, oh, well, we increased it by 184% this quarter, things like that, rather than giving us the hard data. I'm interested to know what you guys think, though, because a lot of these graphs I feel like were kind of intended to be misleading, especially when you compare them to the other numbers that they have here. What do you guys think about all this stuff? Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.